Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see here. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من شر الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد، والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد ورد في دعاء عرفة للإمام الحسين عليه السلام: إلهي ترددي في الآثار يوجب لي بعد المزار، فاجمعني عليك بخدمة توصلني إليك. كيف يستدل عليك بما هو في وجوده مفتقر إليك؟ أيكون لغيرك من الظهور ما ليس لك حتى يكون هو الملك؟ آمنا بالله. صدق الإمام الحسين عليه السلام. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, this is going to be a short session about some glimpse of Dua Arafah so we can feel the taste which Imam Hussain alayhi salam is enjoying. We will never be able to feel the entire taste of Imam Hussain when he is bonding with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. when he's communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all what we can get is a little bit of what Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam felt uh, by pondering at these words, beautiful words of Imam Hussain, of the Tawheed, pure monotheistic concept that you totally bond yourself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, devote yourself for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Ahlul Bayt salamullahi alayhim, they are on a lofty status because they were able to reach the core recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why we love Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. We are required to love Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. We are obligated to love Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, because they will direct us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the pure ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which many religions and many sects, they got deviated on pure ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pure recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of them, they made the embodiment of Allah in Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, they got deviated. Some of them, they made embodiment of God, and they made God has leg and God has face and God has body, and those also deviated. So the pure monotheistic direction comes from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, the way they present the monotheism. So without any delay, let's take some of the words of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam to feel the beauty of these words, which in Arabic many times we recite, and even some English translations, they don't give proper right and proper worth to the words which are so deep. Excuse me. So Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam says that, because there's a theory uh, how to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are two ways. One is a direct recognition and one is indirect recognition. Indirect recognition comes from the theory of causality using logical arguments. So that means these effects, they indicate a cause, and that cause indicates the effect of that cause, and that effect indicates of the effect of a cause of that effect, and so on. And it reaches all the way at the end to the final cause of every cause, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is an indirect direction. So Imam Hussain says, Ya Allah, don't let me come to you indirectly. If I'll try to seek you indirectly, I will never be able to come directly to you. Just show me your way. Tell me, where are you? I'll come to you. You guide me. You tell me. Don't tell me to look at the mountain, look at the... Those are good indications. But those are indications for those who are far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like the idol worshippers, like the deviated people. They must ponder into things which are in their reach, material world. But Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam is beyond that. He said, Ya Allah, let me reach you towards a light. You show me a light. Guide me through a light. So I always mention this example repeatedly in every year, that we have somebody who is knocking the door and there's no light inside the hall, and you tell them, come in, but I can't see anything. Okay, I'm here. Where are you? Let me know, where are you? He said, touch the wall on your right hand side, like guiding a blind guy, you see, and then touch this window, and then touch that window, and then touch that pillar, and then touch that fan, and then touch the cause effect, until you'll come to me. He said, there's a long route. I mean, I'll keep touching things. I may touch things accidentally. That might not be appropriate, or something like that, or a face of a guy or something, you see. So he said, do you have a cell phone? Yes, I have. Just show me the light. Show me the light where you are. Just do like this and I'll find you easily. Why are you giving me long routes? So yes, that's a direct. So Imam Hussain alayhi salatu says, Ya Allah, show me that light. Let me do something which brings me direct towards you. This athar, this theory of causality, looking at this was created by this was made by this. The sun was the cause of the sun is the father, and the cause of the, and until Adam, and Adam was the cause of the collection of the clay, and the collection of the clay was done by the angel, and the angels were commanded by God, and finally God was the one who was behind everything. So that is a long route. So he says Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam is one of the glimpse of the words of Imam Hussain, the beautiful things about Dua Arafa and Arafa, recognition of God. So he said, Ilahi taraddudi fil athar. I keep looking at these signs and effects which leads me to you as a great cause. Yujibuli bu'dal mazar. These things, theory of causality, this causes this, and the material things is going to take me longer route to visit you. Mazar, ziarat. Okay? So my visit, my coming to you will become very lengthy. فاجمعني إليك بخدمة توصلني إليك. Let me come to you through something which you love, بخدمة, some kind of service, something I do which pleases you, I'm there with you. So inspire me to do something which pleases you. I'll be with you, khalas. If I'll keep looking at these things and these things, so that is a good way. Quran directs, look at the mountains, look at this. So he said, Ya Allah, if I'll go that route, it's going to be very long route for me. And then, Ya Allah, these mountains, they don't indicate like they don't indicate you. You indicate that there are mountains, because the uniqueness of the mountain, uniqueness of the cells, uniqueness of the atoms, uniqueness of that uniqueness indicates that someone unique has created. So you are more obvious than the mountain. The mountain is obvious for some other people than you. But for me, if it was not for you, the mountain would not have gotten its uniqueness. I mean, myself, my atoms, my cells, my biological structure, it would never have reached that kind of balanced perfection level without you. So you are more obvious. Your obviousness is found in these things, and not these things they are indicate. These things, they need you. How can something needy indicate a needless? No, needless indicates the things which are needed by him, which need him. So he makes opposites. So like Allah is needless, and these are needy, these are limited. How can these limited things indicate this gigantic needless God? So that means, yes, if you know God, you will know more these kind of things and the uniqueness of things, because you understood the uniqueness of the Creator. كيف يستدل عليك بما هو في وجوده مفتقر إليك? How can something indicate you and that thing needs you in its existence? أيكون لغيرك من الظهور? Does other things are more obvious than you? No. You're more obvious than them. So that's the problem when looking at the WhatsApp and suddenly glitch happens and everything gets messed up. So let's say Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad until I find the line. Yeah. So in some of the lines, Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, yeah, here is the one, the light. Remember the light? Ilahi amarta bir ruju'i ila al-athar. Oh God, you commanded us to refer to the effects, okay? The athar, the effects, the things, the existing thing. But ya Allah, فَأَرْجِعْنِي إِلَيْكَ. For me, let me return to you بِكِسْوَةِ الْأَنْوَارِ, with the garment of lights, okay? وَهِدَايَةِ الْإِسْتِبْصَارِ, and the guidance of those who have insight, the guidance from inside. حَتَّى أَرْجَعْ إِلَيْكَ مِنْهَا, so that through that light, through that insight, I can come to you and return to you. See the word return, that means we are from that system where we used to recognize God day and night. Then we came on earth and we were clouded by this nafs, and now we have to find that light or free the light inside us so that it can detect the existence of God. The light means insight. حتى أرجع إليك منها, From that light, I will be able to return to you. From that insight, I'll be able to return to you. منها مصون السر عن النظر إليها ومرفوع الهمة عن الاعتماد عليها. So it is all beyond the reach of the people. They have to ask you to guide them towards you. So this is what is important to understand, that even in guidance towards Allah, فَهْدِنِي بِنُورِكَ إِلَيْكَ. Okay, guide me from your light towards you. بِنُورِكَ إِلَيْكَ وَأَقِمْنِي بِصِدْقِ الْعُبُودِيَّةِ. And if I realize I reach that level, then let me do the pure service to you, pure worship to you, the true worship to you, the truthful worship to you. بِصِدْقِ الْعُبُودِيَّةِ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ إِلَهِي عَلِّمْنِي عِلْمَكَ الْمَخْزُونِ. We can know the knowledge in the world, but the knowledge which is so deep comes from the source, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The stored knowledge, Ya Allah. This knowledge which is available in the hand of the world, nothing, everything can be learned easily. But whatever you have, and you have not disclosed it to the creation, subhanAllah, is a very huge thing, high level thing. Imam Hussain wants to tap those sources which are untapped, which are not known to the creation. So this is something which I wanted to, and this is one of the beautiful things. You see, we make plans, but many times we fail. So Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasallam said, Ilahi aghnini bitadbirika li an tadbiri. I make plans, Ya Allah, but many times those plans are failures. So guide me through your planning, through what you know, because you know everything. So let me plan through your planning and not through my planning. Beautiful words, because many times we plan and we fail. وَبِاخْتِيَارِكَ عَنْ اخْتِيَارِي. And your choices rather than mine. وَأَوْقِفْنِي عَلَى مَرَاكِزِ اضْطِرَارِ. And let me stop wherever I am in the state of necessity, and let you be the one to guide me, take me out from those difficult situations and those things which I have gone into a state of necessity, because in that case, I don't have any other option. All the doors are blocked, roads are blocked, doors are closed. No one can take me out except you. So that is something, and we conclude with this ayat of the Quran that وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever loves Allah so much. Taqwa has so many meanings. I love the meaning of the deep love, deep ma'rifat, the taqwa. Whoever has the deep love and ma'rifat of Allah in a way that he avoids taqwa, avoid everything, dismisses Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make exits for him. يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And he will give them, he will make ways. Even if the ways are closed, he will make ways. Unexpected ways. You will not expect, oh, I was not expecting this. Yes, because you loved Allah. You directed yourself towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He guided you. So from those people, if they reach the level of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the deep love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they become like the companions of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Many times they say, we cannot become Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Yes, but you can become Zuhair, you can become Burair, you can become Habib, you can become Muslim ibn Awsaja. No one is telling you to be Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Even though you can reach closer to him, but at least you can be from those companions who had this deep love and ma'rifat and recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they did not care about anything in this life. Their main task was how to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was so important for them that they kept their lives online for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, defending the beloved one of Allah, the authority of Allah, the Waliullah, Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. So that is the effect of ma'rifah. That once you gain that kind of ma'rifah, You don't care about anything in this world. All what you care is what my God loves to see me in that condition. I want to be in that condition. What pleases my God. So that is what the companions of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, and one of the important companions of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, who was martyred on this day, is Muslim ibn Aqeel. You all know the story of Muslim ibn Aqeel, and you heard a lot of times the story of Muslim ibn Aqeel. But Muslim ibn Aqeel, the pain of Muslim ibn Aqeel is something which we need to remember every year when we come on this day, the day of Arafa, and also the pain of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Look at so many Hujjaj they were there, how much pleased they were there, so much difficulties, so much problems, so many challenges, but still they were glad that they were there. Guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That kind of honor, that kind of pleasure, excuse me, that kind of status of being guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who would not love to be in that state? Everyone. And if everyone, then those who are Arafa and super Arafa, like Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, for him to be in that station is the most beloved thing. But Imam Hussain is told to leave the secured place for everyone, even for the idol worshippers. It was a secured place, Makkah, Masjid al-Haram, which became a place of threat and danger for Islam, for Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Imagine you are there and you just have one day and you are going to go to Arafat, 9th day. Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam had entered the state of Ihram, and now he's forced to change his niyat from Ihram of Hajj to Ihram of Umrah al-Mufrada. And instead of going to Arafat, he takes his family and moves out of Makkah. So that is the painful situation. And Muslim ibn Aqeel, the same time, same day, he was captured. And you know all how he was captured. He was surrounded by the enemies of Islam, enemies of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, enemies of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. In the house of Taw'a, the one who was devoted to Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, once she realizes that that person is Muslim ibn Aqeel, who has become a stranger. Once he was in Kufa, he was welcomed with the gladness and he was cherished and he was in a very lofty status. Now he's wandering in the streets of Kufa alone. Everyone has left Muslim ibn Aqeel. All those who pledged, many of them, they were in prison, and many, they betrayed the pledge they gave to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. It was not the pledge to Muslim ibn Aqeel, it was the pledge to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. And here, the son of Taw'a, he was a spy. He informed Ibn Ziyad, and the army of Ibn Ziyad surrounded the house of Taw'a, and Muslim ibn Aqeel is forced to come out. He fought like brave lion, and he started sending one after another to the hellfire, those who are enemies of Ahlul Bayt, enemies of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, enemies of Islam. And after that, how much he can tolerate, he continued fighting until they ambushed him and he was captured. And when he was captured, he made some conditions before being captured, but none of his conditions were fulfilled and his conditions were violated. So he was taken to the palace of Ibn Ziyad, Ibn Ziyad argued with Muslim ibn Aqeel. Muslim ibn Aqeel didn't fear him, didn't fear anything, because he knew the final stage is the martyrdom and going towards that realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, realm of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the cup of being martyred. Look at this moment. Muslim ibn Aqeel was thirsty. He requested water. Water was brought to him. When he wanted to drink, there was blood dripping out of his lips. That blood fell into that water. That water became najis. Muslim ibn Aqeel, even though he's so thirsty, Islam says if in difficulty, in hardship, you can drink najis, but no, he will not allow his pure blood and his pure system to absorb the najasa, even if it was so difficult time. Muslim ibn Aqeel avoids drinking that water. And if Muslim ibn Aqeel had known that Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam would be martyred without water, he would never have demanded or requested for water. But it was destined that Muslim ibn Aqeel becomes martyred and he goes from this world with his thirst, like Imam Hussein alayhi salam and the companions of Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura. Muslim ibn Aqeel was taken on the top of the palace, top of the palace, on the roof of the palace, and he told the executor who was going to kill him to give him some time to offer salat. Once he offers the salat, it is mentioned that he faces towards Mecca and he says, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Muslim ibn Aqil wished that Imam Hussein was informed that don't come to Kufa. Kufa has betrayed you. Kufa has failed you. Kufa will not accept you. And while in that state, the enemy of Islam, the slaughterer, the executor, he pulls his sword and strikes hard from the back of Muslim ibn Aqil. Imagine he strikes back on the head of Muslim ibn Aqil to separate his head from his body. The head falls down from the palace, and then he pushes the body, and the body, when it falls down, the bones got crushed. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Did you remember what happened to Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when he was in Karbala, his head was severed from the back, which is a very painful way of separating the head from the body. And that was what Shimr al-Mal'un did. And Muslim ibn Aqil shared some of the pain of Imam Hussein. And after Imam Hussein was martyred, they trampled the body of Imam Hussein under the horse's hooves. And that is where the bones of Imam Hussein was crushed. But we will say, Muslim ibn Aqil, oh Muslim, yes, your head was severed from the back of your neck and your bones were crushed, but was your body looted? Were your children slaughtered in front of your eyes? Imam Hussein alayhi salam's Ali Akbar was slaughtered and butchered in front of his eyes. Imam Hussein's young baby Ali Asgar, he was also butchered and slaughtered in front of his eyes in his hand. And was the case of Imam Hussein. Wa musibata. And when Imam Hussein was in his way to Kufa, in the middle of his journey, a guy comes from Kufa, informs him about Muslim ibn Aqil. Imam Hussein became sad. He grieved upon Muslim ibn Aqil. He goes to the tent of his family and he asks them, where is Hamida, daughter of Muslim? She was the age of Ruqayya. She was young daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil. So they bring the daughter of Muslim, Hamida. And Imam Hussein alayhi salatu Islam puts his hand on her head and tells her that, oh Hamida, remember, I am like your father. My daughters are your sister. We are your family. So never ever become lonely or saddened if anything happens to you and you are alone. She said, oh Uncle Hussein, why are you smearing your hand over my head the way someone smears on the head of an orphan? Imam Hussein realized that she has realized that her father has been martyred, and the cry and grief There was raised in the tent of the family of Imam Hussain, family of Imam Muslim ibn Aqeel. Everybody was saying, Wa Muslimah, Wa Madlumah. But one more sad issue is that when Hamida, her father, was martyred, Imam Hussein was there to give comfort to an orphan. But what happened to the daughters of Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura? When Imam Hussein was martyred, was there someone to comfort Sakina and Ruqayya and all the daughters of Imam Hussein? No, they were beating them, they were lashing them with their whips, they were slapping their faces, they were snatching their jewelries. Wa musibata, wa Husaina, wa madluma. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين والعاقبة للمتقين إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this day of Arafat, the dua is mustajab. Dhikr of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam and the ziyarat of Imam Hussain, which we are going to recite inshallah in a while, is a cause of acceptance of dua in this great acceptance of day, the day where the people are guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you are unable to be guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we share those guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love to be in the presence of those spiritual places, spiritual sites, being guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With our intentions, we were there, inshaAllah. And if we were not unable to be guests of Allah, then we are able to become guests of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, from distant or from the proximity of the shrine of Imam Hussain. Even though we are here, our hearts are in Karbala. We mention the tragedy of Imam Hussain, the tragedy of Muslim bin Aqeel. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the sake of these tears, that, oh Allah, fulfill all our problems and difficulties and hardships, and all the Mu'min Mu'minat who are around the world, their difficulties and hardships and problems. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the day of Arafat is the day of forgiveness of sins, to forgive all our sins and shortcoming, and all the sins and shortcoming of all the Mu'min Mu'minat around the world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all our marhumin who have departed from this world, the marhumin of Mu'min Mu'minat, especially the marhumin of all our beloved ones who repeatedly request for dua for their marhumin. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all those who are having problems in their livelihood from our Mu'min Mu'minat around the world, to cure all our sick ones from the Mu'min Mu'minat around the world, to ease up their difficult lives and difficult conditions and circumstances, to make the appearance of our beloved Imam soon, and keep us always from his sincere supporters in his occultation and after his appearance. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeatedly to forgive our sins. Ya Allah, if there are sins which create or cause problems to us, Ya Allah, then forgive us those sins, Ya Allah. بحق فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها. And Ya Allah, if there are difficulties which are tests from you, and ease up those difficulties upon us, and inspire us with patience for your sake, for your love, and make us more and more closer to you through the love of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, through the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, so we can be the pure devoters and lovers of your glory, your might, of you and yourself, Ya Allah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us the Hajj, if not Hajj, then Ziarat of Imam Hussain in the coming year, and to keep us and all our beloved ones around the world in a healthy, prosperous state, and bless us with all what our needs are, our hajat, and hajat of the Mu'min Mu'minat. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi tayyibin al-tahirin. We recite Surah Al-Fatiha and give the thawab to all our marhumin Mu'min Mu'minat. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now we face our direction towards Karbala. Though our bodies are here, but let our soul be in Karbala. Let our spirits be in Karbala. And let us imagine that we are with those Zuwar, thousands of Zuwars who are now today in Karbala visiting Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. So let us be with them and do Ziarat of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. And let us call Imam Hussain from heart to heart, from soul to soul. Even though we are here, our hearts are there, our souls are there. Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam is listening to us. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أزور سيدي ومولاي أبا عبد الله الحسين زيارة مني ونيابة عن والدي. I'm visiting Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam on my behalf and on behalf of all my beloved ones around the world, and on behalf of my relatives, my arham, on behalf of my marhumin and all the marhumin of Mu'min Mu'minat, and behalf of those who bestow favors upon me, on behalf of those whom I have wronged them, asking Allah to accept this ziyarat, qurbatan lillahi ta'ala. So from our hearts, first we call Imam Hussain and we establish a bond with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And then we recite the words of Ziyarat of Imam Hussain. You can find it on Google. Just Google Ziyarat of Imam Hussain on the day of Arafat. It will be in front of you. So let's bond with Imam Hussain by calling him from our hearts a couple of times. Ya Mawlai, Ya Aba Abdullah, Ya Mawlai, Ya Ibn Rasulillah, Ya Mawlai, Ya Aba Abdullah, Ya Mawlai, Ya Ibn Rasulillah. Once more from your heart, call Imam Hussain. Don't be shy. Just let your sound come out and raise your voice and say, Ya Mawlai, Ya Aba Abdullah, Ya Mawlai, Ya Ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka, Ya waritha Adama Safwatillah. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا وارث فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك ورضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبإيابكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي ومنقلبي إلى ربي. فصلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن خاتم النبيين وابن سيد الوصيين وابن إمام المتقين وابن قائد الغر المحجلين إلى جنات النعيم. وكيف لا تكون كذلك وأنت باب الهدى وإمام التقى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا وخامس أصحاب الكساء. غدتك يد الرحمة ورضعت من ثدي الإيمان وربيت في حجر الإسلام، فالنفس غير راضية بفراقك ولا شاكة في حياتك. صلوات الله عليك وعلى آبائك وأبنائك. السلام عليك يا صريع العبرة الساكبة وقرين المصيبة الراتبة. لعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم فقتلت صلى الله عليه وآله مقهورا. وأصبح رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله بك موتورا، وأصبح كتاب الله بفقدك مهجورا. السلام عليك وعلى جدك وأبيك وأمك وأخيك وعلى الأئمة من بنيك وعلى المستشهدين معك وعلى الملائكة الحافين بقبرك والشاهدين لزوارك المؤمنين بالقبول على دعاء شيعتك. والسلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله، بأبي أنت وأمي يا أبا عبد الله. لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل السماوات والأرض. فلعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتهيأت لقتالك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. Let's call Imam Hussain once more. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا مولاي يا ابن رسول الله، يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا مولاي يا ابن رسول الله، يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا مولاي يا ابن رسول الله. قصدت حرمك وأتيت مشهدك، أسأل الله بالشأن الذي لك عنده وبالمحل الذي لك لديه أن يصلي على محمد وآل محمد وأن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة بمنه وجوده وكرمه. زيارة علي بن الحسين الأكبر عليه السلام. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد ابن الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم ابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليك يا مولاي، السلام عليك يا ولي الله وابن وليه. لقد عظمت المصيبة وجلت الرزية بك علينا وعلى جميع المؤمنين، فلعن الله أمة قتلتك وأبرأوا إلى الله وإليك منهم في الدنيا والآخرة. زيارة الشهداء رضوان الله عليهم who defended Islam like Muslim ibn Aqeel, Muslim ibn Awsaja, Habib, Zuhair, Qurair, John, and all the martyrs of Islam, martyrs of Iman, martyrs defending Islam, defending Imam Hussain. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه. السلام عليكم يا أصفياء الله وأوداءه. السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين وأنصار فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن الولي الناصح. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله الحسين المظلوم. بأبي أنتم وأمي طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما. يا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم في الجنان مع الشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we ask for our hajat. We ask Allah to give us hajat under the dome of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, where Allah promises that He will give hajat to those people who seek hajat from under the dome of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, according to the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, who narrate from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who narrate from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Jibreel. So that means that it is a promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will give. However, to take your hajat, you have to go to the haram of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, and that is the distributing point of the hajat. So let us go towards the shrine of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Picture the shrine of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas in your mind, and let's together call Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, because he's also martyred, he's living, he listens to our talk. يا مولاي يا أبا الفضل العباس. يا مولاي يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. Together it from your hearts. Even if you say loudly in your places, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas will listen to you. يا مولاي يا أبا الفضل العباس. يا مولاي يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. يا مولاي يا أبا الفضل العباس. يا مولاي يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما وأقدمهم إيمانا وأقومهم بدين الله وأحوطهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك، فنعم الأخ المواسي. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت في قتلك حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الأخ الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر، والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه، الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. والحقق الله بدرجة آبائك في دار النعيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dua of Ziarat. We are asking Allah, Ya Allah, I presented myself in front of the shrines of your beloved ones and visited them. And my intention was to seek your reward and to seek and hope in your forgiveness and your great favors. So, oh Allah, I ask you to send blessings on Muhammad and the household of Muhammad, and make my livelihood through them, by their sake, expanded and flourishing livelihood, and my life stable without any problems and difficulties and hardship, and my visitation to them accepted, my sins through them forgiven. Let me go back, return from their ziyarat, successful, fulfilled all his hajat, responded to all his du'as, with the best of what you can give to the best of your servants and best of your visitors and those who approach Imam Hussain alayhi salam by the sake of your mercy. Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Salamu alayka ya Mawlaya ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayki ya Mawlati ya Fatimata al-Zahra. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlaya ya Amir al-Mu'minin. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlaya ya Aba Muhammad al-Hasan al-Mujtaba. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام عليك وعلى أختك العقيلة زينب. السلام عليك وعلى أولادك النجبا مولاي علي بن الحسين زين العابدين مولاي محمد الباقر مولاي جعفر الصادق مولاي موسى الكاظم مولاي علي الرضا مولاي محمد الجواد مولاي علي الهادي مولاي الحسن العسكري. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمامي وإمام الإنس والجان مولاي عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل مخرجك وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك. والصلاة والسلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Since today is the day of Arafa, let's do the dua of Ma'rifah, that may Allah give us the recognition of His recognition, recognition of His messenger, recognition of the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, especially the Imam of our time. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma arifni nafsak, فإنك إن لم تعرفني نفسك لم أعرف نبيك. اللهم عرفني رسولك فإنك إن لم تعرفني رسولك لم أعرف حجتك. اللهم عرفني حجتك فإنك إن لم تعرفني حجتك ضللت عن ديني. اللهم لا تمتني ميتة جاهلية ولا تزغ قلبي بعد إذ هديتني برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد